And with that, we transfer over to Miss Nikki Cruise. So let's see if we can do that. Oh, there she is. Look how beautiful she is. Look at that smile. Ooh, allow me to read Nikki's bio. Nikki Cruise is an international TEDx speaker. I bet you didn't know that. Best-selling author, dynamic empowerment, and joy coach. What a great name, right? Shares her miraculous testimony to bring hope and encouragement in the healing power of joy. The joy that brought about her healing of body, mind, and spirit. As a certified God Talks coach, she encourages faith-centered entrepreneurs to recognize the enormity of their own self-worth. That's why I love her. Regardless of the circumstances and society's inevitable labels, so that they can see how to powerfully impact the world through their unique calling and purpose. Having joy in the entrepreneurial journey, she does this through her JUMP program. I'm going to let her tell you all about that. Joyfully unleashing a more powerful purpose. That's what JUMP stands for, but she will tell you more about it. She also empowers leaders in business to excel in their leadership through their faith, mindset, and unique God-given value to find new strategies and be equipped with tools to daily choose abundance and joy and seek out solutions to adversity in all circumstances so that they can lead others to do the same. Nikki is originally from South Africa, which is why she has this lovely accent, but currently she resides in Burleson, hopefully I pronounced that right, Texas, USA, of course. So with that, I give you Nikki Cruise.
Well, Marianne, thank you so much. And it's always so exciting to be here. And I'm excited because I get to share about my favorite subject today, joy. The secret sauce to joy is Healthology. But before we get to that, there have been speakers on here today that have been amazing. And if you've missed any of them, go back, watch the replay. Marianne so generously makes these available on her timeline for everybody. And you can go back and watch the replay. Every one of her summits, I'll sit and take pages and pages of notes. So no, you don't have to watch the replay all in one go, because she's putting it out there, because Mary is so incredible about empowering other people. And talking about joy and celebrating, Marianne, you introduce all of us and you tell us so much about all these people you bring on. You have so much going on that I can hardly keep track. And one of the recent things I saw was you on the cover of Elle magazine that gets added to the major publications you've been included in. You've just been given a global summit award. You've just had a bank code certification. These things have all happened just recently. You've achieved the Drive to Director and APL Go. Those are the healthy candies we spoke about earlier. And I personally want to thank you for the way you've led and empowered me in so many of these areas. So I just want to hear, did I miss anything else? Anything out there? You have so much, and you are so empowering. And one of the things I love about you is our energy just merges and bounces off one another. And I am fortunate enough to have a rare few people like that in my life. I know some of them are watching, but you really do that. And we're going to talk about community later. But you tell me, what's the favorite and most impactful of the awards you've had in the last month?
Oh, probably the global recognition award for Empowered Talks for my summits, because I love doing the summits so much. I love that I'm able to get them out there for free to a massive amount of people, and so massive amounts of people can actually listen to this. That's probably my favorite. But you're going to make me cry if you continue with this. This is your half hour. Please, please talk about yourself. And I appreciate and love you. A little too much love between me and Nikki, because we're almost a little scared to get on the phone, because and it can't be late at night because I'm half asleep already and we don't know how to shut up. That's the only thing that we have, is we do not know when to stop. We will talk for 2 hours, no problem. We're both insanely busy, so that's not really good, but I love her. So please.
And same back to you. And I'm looking at my screen and I was trying to fix my lights. I look like I'm glowing neon. That's the joy glowing. So don't worry about this luminous light coming out. Again, just thank you for having me here to talk about the core pillar, or one of the core pillars in my life. I'm absolutely ecstatic to be talking to you about something that's so close to my heart, joy, and how it relates to those things, something that's all around us, that's health. And we've been hearing about this all day. But before you roll your eyes and think I'm going to tell you to eat spinach and do all the healthy things, I get to say to you in full transparency that I am not the most health conscious person out. And I get to recognize that I don't stand in a place of shame because of that, ignoring it. I'm not as healthy as I could be, but I get to recognize where I'm at and move forward from there. Don't let that shame and comparison with other people stop you taking the steps from where you're at now. The only shame of not being in better health is if you choose not to make a difference to it. And that's part of what Healthology is all about. Some of you know my story, that I was in a wheelchair for 11 years and I was told I would never walk again. I was fortunate enough to decide to be the best version of myself. And I believe that brought about a lot of the balance I needed in my life, that brought about my miraculous instantaneous healing. Yeah, it was miraculous. One minute I was in a wheelchair, the next minute I reached back for my wheelchair and it wasn't there and I had walked. That works along with the actions I had taken in my life to facilitate that healing. So when I got out of my wheelchair, was everything great? I was in great physical shape. God had begun to work with me, healing my spirit, my emotions, and my heart. But I wasn't all done. Creating this balance where you move forward, creating the appropriate healthology in your life is a choice and a journey that keeps going. So it's not only about your Fitbit telling you that you didn't hit 10,000 steps. It's about something much deeper. It's a totally holistic way of looking at your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And it's about how these areas intersect to create a life filled with, what do you think I'm going to say? Of course, joy, but not just any joy. We're talking about that deep, belly laughing through the good and bad kind of joy. The kind of joy that sticks with you even when those things aren't going right. Because, not sure about you, but when last in your life was everything perfect? Exactly. And yet, joy, that deep joy, is available to us every single day. How? Let's break it down through the lens of healthology. First, the physical health. Okay, so couch, move over. We get started with the physical health, just as Jose said, and everybody else said. We get to have our bodies working better. And no, you don't take on every single change you want to make all at once. Do it incrementally so that you can cope with it. Don't get stuck and stay where you are. And yet when we make that choice to be healthy, eat healthy, exercise and sleep well, I don't know about you guys, but we all may have that moment where we're staring down that tub of hot chip ice cream. Eat healthy mantra seems to disappear at that point. I've been there. In fact, I imagine I have some cookies stashed away in my desk here right now. So I'm there. But here's the thing. Our bodies are designed for movement. When we take care of our physical health, we actually open that door to having more joy. It's true. Think about it. The last time you went out for a brisk walk or did something active, even if you didn't feel like it in the beginning, but afterwards, didn't you feel more energized? That's because when you exercise, your body releases magical little things called endorphins, the ones that are known as the happy hormones. And sometimes we're not in the mood to do it. I don't know about you, but I have those days where it's just, my first recommendation is stop thinking I don't want to do it and just get up and do it. And just like Jose said, because health is more than just having the six-pack abs or following yoga poses on Instagram. It's about feeling good in your body. It's about having the right attitude to your body, whatever shape or size you are. And that brings us to being grateful for what our bodies can do. Stop focusing on what your body can't do and what you can't do, and celebrate and have gratitude for what you can do. That was a huge thing when I was sitting in that wheelchair, when I was so angry and saying, how can I be of any use to anybody? And I listened to the labels of the world. And I listened to the voices saying, you're crippled, you're useless. But you know what? There were things I could do. And I had to move to a space of gratitude for those things. And as I did that, there was more joy. There was more peace of mind. But you know what? When we start nourishing our bodies correctly and our minds, yeah, it does include the occasional piece of chocolate cake. Because let's not forget balance. So when you deprive yourself completely, it's not always good. But if you've made the decision to make that commitment to not have that piece of chocolate cake, stick to it. And if you miss the mark, just reattack it. Stick to it again. Don't just throw your hands in and give up. Because when you treat your body well, your body rewards you. It rewards you with strength. It rewards you with energy and yes, with joy. So next time you think about skipping that bit of exercise because you're just too tidy, remember, you're one walk away from more joy. And I mentioned just now that that involves how you think about it. Your mental and emotional health is the true joy maker. The engine that keeps this joy mobile running is your mental and emotional health. And our minds, the place where we can 1 minute convince ourselves that everything's fantastic, and the next we can spiral down into thinking, what a mess, and what if in the negative. I think we've all been there. One of the biggest joy stealers comes from that negativity, and it's stress. It sneaks in, it fills your brain with worry, and it leaves you feeling drained. You know, it's a bit like inviting a party guest who comes in, eats all the food, and leaves without even saying thank you. Friends, that's not cool. So don't do the same thing to yourself. How do we fight it? To nurture the joy instead. 2 words: mental hygiene. And I'm not talking about brushing your teeth or your mindset like you would, brushing your mindset or your mind like you would brush your teeth, although it's a cool image. I'm talking about practices, like we mentioned, gratitude, mindfulness, accountability, boundaries. These are all like taking a big broom and tearing out the clutter in your brain. They're like sweeping out the cobwebs. Gratitude has scientifically proven to increase joy. So even on a bad day, and I don't like to call it a bad day because it isn't, that's your perception of it. If you just sit down and think of 3 things you're grateful for, it shifts the atmosphere, it shifts your mindset from, life is lousy today, to, wow, there's so much good here. It could be something as simple as, I found a fantastic parking on first try today. Or maybe it's my cat didn't knock my coffee over this morning. And don't forget emotional health. Life is full of ups and downs. We respond to things and we do have a choice over how we respond. Emotions can often feel like riding that roller coaster in the dark, but joy doesn't mean pretending everything's okay in the down spurts of that roller coaster. Joy means embracing all of your emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly, and still choosing to find hope. It's okay to have a bad day. It's just not okay to unpack your baggage and stay there. You deserve more than that. Next on our list of healthology is your spiritual health, the joy for your soul. And that's when things get really deep. You know, our spiritual health is something that where lasting joy comes from. I know it's not the magic self-help book or Instagram motivational quote. Those are nice, but true joy comes from being connected to something greater than yourself. For me, it's God. When my spiritual health is in check, everything else just falls into place. And I know not everybody's spiritual journey is the same, but I encourage you to dig into whatever fuels your soul, whether it's prayer or meditation or quiet time. Think of that the same way as plugging your cell phone in overnight. If you don't do it, your phone runs out of battery and becomes useless. Same with your soul. No spiritual connection, and you'll be running on empty. But the beauty of having that spiritual joy is that, and I think it was Jose who mentioned this, it's not tied to your circumstances. This is so close to my heart. I learned from being in that wheelchair that my circumstances did not define me, and they certainly didn't define the joy I could have in my life. And now in my jump program, I actually help people to see beyond their circumstances, to see how they can be who they truly were created to be. You can experience joy when life's going great, but you can find it in the midst of those struggles. That's your choice. It's that unshakable. Deep-seated joy is knowing that when things are hard, you're not alone and you know your life has purpose. And definitely not a small part of this is community health. Joy loves company. Have you ever noticed that? Joy is magnetic. Joy invites people in, and when you get a lot of joy around, it becomes greater and greater. We can't talk about joy without talking about community. Jose mentioned, have you ever tried to do everything on your own and you end up feeling totally burnt out? I've done it. I've been there. We are wired for connection. We are created for community. And you can be that healthiest person physically, mentally, and spiritually. But if you are not nurturing your relationships, something is going to feel off. We're meant to laugh, cry, and grow together. We're meant to celebrate one another and have others celebrate us. So whether it's your friends, your family, or a faith community, social health is a huge part of joy. And in a recent talk, came up with the comment that in life, which is like traveling down a river, community is your boat in the river of life. And with joy being so contagious, have you ever noticed how you feel when you're around people who are joyful? So surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who are positive, and return the favor. You'll be amazed at how the joy just explodes and creates love and connection. You know, choosing joy in every every aspect of healthology is so important. The key to joy lies in healthology, where we honor our physical, our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. It's not about getting everything perfect. It's about balance. It's about treating ourselves with kindness and love and remembering that joy is available to us, even in life's most challenging moments. And hey, if you find yourself having a bad day, remember, joy isn't about feeling happy all the time. Jose said it. It's about choosing joy. And no matter what, it's knowing that despite your circumstances, you are loved, you are worthy, and you have a purpose. So let's look at those different areas of our lives. Let's step out of shame for not being where other people are. You are unique, but let's take where we're at and step forward and make the changes we can make. Just 1% improvement a day is 365% a year. So let's step forward. Let's do it positively and have the joy that brings you the strength. In my JUMP program, we work on mindset, self-worth, and faith. Because when you align your beliefs with your business, you create so much impact. And it brings joy. And joy brings success. You open the doors to abundance. So I hope that this gave you some tips as how to incorporate more joy in your day. And feel free to connect with me. Marianne, thank you so much. You're on mute, love.
I've only clicked on it 3 times. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Isn't she amazing? Yeah. So, if you have any questions about JUMP, I will be happy to connect with you. If you cannot find Nikki for some reason, she is on Facebook. She's on there a lot because I know, because I talk to her there a lot. But if you can't find her, I'm happy to connect you to her. Nikki, later on, when you have a minute, if you could add your contact info into the chat at the live, you can put it in here too, but I don't think people see it here because I don't see it here.
Absolutely. And I would just like to extend the invitation to my membership group, which is free. It's called the JUMP Community. Sorry, guys, this one's for women only. In my upper level coaching, I do coach men, but this group, we're focusing on female faith-centered entrepreneurs.
Pretty cool, eh? So, Nikki, not a surprise to anyone, her and I have partnered up on the supplements because we both have benefited from them. And now we're benefiting financially as well. Although that is not the reason I got into it, and it's definitely not the reason she got into it. That's just the extra added bonus. She's a little bit newer to it than I am, but it's all good. She's doing amazing. And what a great story she has. What a great story. So thank you so much for that, Nikki.